Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner, and this is a review for 90 Day Fiance. Before the 90 Day Season 3, Episode 6. Okay, I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope you get this on Monday because I'm recording this at 2 a.m. late Sunday, early Monday. Let's see if it gets flagged or not. But first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. JayBird. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm stopped. And if you have not done so, do not forget to hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button because it just helps YouTube share your favorite YouTubers' videos. It helps them know we should share this too. Because we got a whole bunch of likes. So please like the video, comment in the comment section. Conversations are always warranted and wanted around here, okay? And also hit the share button. Share this video on your Twitter or your Facebook because you need to share me with your world, okay? And you can follow me on IG at J_Lees_Corner. Also on Twitter because my name was the same on Twitter. But all of that is right here. If you look right there, it's right on the screen. I'm telling you right now, okay? But let's get into this episode. So first up, we have Avery and Omar. So Avery and Omar, are still trying to get married. They're supposedly going to get married tomorrow. But Avery said her mom and Omar went out to dinner to discuss some things about the wedding. And so she's like, I just feel like things might get tense between them. And I just, things might have to happen. So we do see her mom, Omar and the mama has a conversation. I'll switch these pictures around because I want them to look a certain way. Anyway, so the mama and Omar is having a conversation. I don't know what the mama name is. Mainly, they're coming to have a conversation because Omar says, in their culture, there's a dowry that has to be paid. Okay, and the dowry is just an amount that the groom agrees to pay the wife, okay, or the bride, in case they get divorced, okay? It's like a prenuptial agreement, monetary conversation that has to happen or whatever. And so now I'm not like selling my daughter to you, right? He's like, no. It just means, in our culture, like in America, we get spousal support. You know what I'm saying? If y'all divorced, the husband or whoever else pays a sum like every month, whatever. It's a continual thing. Whereas there, there's one flat fee paid, and then that's it. Okay, you get one flat fee. However, the parent of the bride gets to pick how much they want the dowry to be. And she's like, oh, so like, what should I pick? He's like, we know it should be like a nice number, but remember, I'm just in school. I'm like, but ain't you in school to be a doctor? Anyway, so the mama then say, you know what I'm saying? What? Because they're going to ask this question at the wedding that's supposed to be tomorrow. So she says, okay, well, $10,000. He's like, wow, that's 10. I'm just a student. That's a lot. He's like, well, she said, well, I'm not going to short change or cheap change my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a nice amount or whatever, He explains like in their culture, the man doesn't pay. No, forget that part. She brings up how, if you want to marry her, you don't want to pay this amount or whatever, then be on your best behavior so that y'all don't get a divorce. So he just like, it's just a lot of whatever. Well, do you have sisters? He says, yeah, I have 4 sisters. But how much did one of your sisters get paid? He says, my older sister, when she got married, her dowry was $6,000. So she said, okay, well, I'll agree to do $6,000 or whatever. I won't do 10, I'll say 6, She then brings up how, what I'm saying, and I hope that once y'all get married, like, you don't try to, like, take her to some other country or whatever, because if you try to do that, I will fight that tooth and nail. And mama, you don't know that Avery already wants to move to his country. But she's talking as if you try to take my daughter, I'm going to be upset. Your daughter trying to leave willingly. Okay? Willingly. And the funny part about it is I just realized how much she looks like her mom. Like, they look like each other, and I can imagine when she grows up, she's going to be a spitball fire like her mother. And I think, again, even though her mom was very, very inconsiderate and culturally ignorant or whatever, she still know her daughter. So as ignorant as she's being there trying to prevent her daughter from getting herself into a situation that she's going to then need her mom's help to get out of. But I digress. Anyway, he brings up how, well, I may try to get we're going to try to get me in the U.S., but if we can't, you know what I'm saying, we will probably live somewhere else. And she's like, I just don't want to accept that or whatever. And she feels like, I'll do my best to help her get you here. You know what I'm saying? But, y'all can either live apart, you can come to America. She's like, but the last resort, would be her trying to move, there where he is or whatever. I'm looking like, but you don't know that's her plan, like, to do, because she feel like for Avery to go live where Omar, for Avery to go live where Omar lives will just be a last resort, and it's a crazy, crazy, crazy thing to happen. But Omar knows that's what Avery plans. Girl, I just can't. Omar brings up how, he and Avery should be the ones making the decisions in their life, not his parents and not her parents. And while I get that, her mom, Avery, I feel like she makes quick decisions. And I think when she does that, she makes mistakes. And that may be why she went to find something to center her. But I'm like, you can't get centered and then want to move to the other side of the world, okay? Caesar. Caesar and Maria, girl, look, we have already said to ourselves, Maria is a catfish, okay? He is getting scammed, but he's in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? He still has not heard from Maria. We do see he gets like he says, I believe in her, and I'm just staying hopeful that I'm going to talk to her. But he has not talked to her in 4 days. So he says, I'm going to pray tonight. I'm going to pray tonight that it's going to work out. You should have been praying the past 5 years, okay? Just saying. So we do see the following morning. He's up getting dressed in the hotel, you know what I'm saying? And he's literally getting ready for how she's going to be ready. I got the chocolate panties out, the candy panties out. I got the chocolate strawberries on the thing. I got all these things. I got the ring or whatever. I just have to get to the airport and get her. So as he's doing that, he gets a text. And the text from her was like a screenshot saying the flight has been canceled, or better yet, the reservation has been canceled. So, excuse me, he's freaking out. Oh my God, what's going on? Like, why is she just now texting me about the flight being canceled? Because the flight would have left yesterday. So we then see he's texting her, asking her, well, why did you cancel it? She said that she didn't cancel it. You know what I'm saying? She's like, I can't cancel it. I didn't book it, so I didn't do it. He then says he called the airline. Now, I was looking all online or whatever, and everyone kept saying, everybody knows, the airports or the airlines number is always 800 number. He called some 845 number. So they're saying that Caesar had a fake phone call with production, because they still say his storyline is fake, or that he already know that Maria isn't coming, and they're just placating it out longer because, it's a storyline or whatever. Anyway, he calls, someone answers and says, well, the airline canceled your flight, will cancel the reservation because your car got declined for the trip. And, when they tried to run your car for the trip, it was insufficient funds or whatever. So, that's why I was declined. So he's like, well, damn, it wasn't even her fault. It was my fault. But I'm going to try my best to get her here. And then we see him trying to call someone. Girl, now, I don't know. What I do know is Maria not there and Caesar is a fool to keep doing this, whether it's fake or real. I don't really care. But he there and she ain't. Okay, we'll see what happens next week. So, she's going to see his parents. And that's the whole thing. She's nervous to meet his parents because his parents are very, very strict Muslims, parents or whatever. So when they walk in the house, she's so nervous she knocked over a vase at the door. I'm like, girl, at the door? Okay, but whatever. It could be because you take off that damn tight ass leather jacket. You can't move in that thing, okay? You can't feel it. Take off your leather jacket, okay? But I digress. So, the mom brings up how she was just shocked when her son told her that he was getting to know a woman in America, whatever. So they sit around having dinner. And, these are his parents. And the daddy kept looking at her. It was funny because he kept looking like, okay. Because I think if they've only seen the pictures that he's shown her, she looks 20 years older. So they're probably confused, like, was you dating her mama? What's going on here? I think they kept trying to realize she's older than what we've seen on these pictures. Okay, that's why the looks kept going on, if you ask me. So again, they're serving couscous, and they're asking her if in America she's ever had couscous before. She says, well, no, not in America, but I had it while I was in Morocco. And then they're like, oh, but what, when we were in Morocco? And then she brings up, well, I was there, visiting or whatever. So Ziad then tells them in their language how, she had an ex-husband and the ex-husband was from Morocco. And so when she was there with the ex-husband, that's when she had it. And they're like, oh, okay. So the dad's like, okay, so she's married and she's been divorced. And he brings up how, marriage is very sacred and should not be taken lightly. You know what I'm saying? Meaning she was married and didn't work out and that ain't cool with them. Now, both parents at one point mentioned how, he is their only son. And so they do want him to be happy and be comfortable. But they just didn't expect he would be with the woman, who was older. A little older woman from America. And also who has tattoos. So, because as they're eating, as she's sitting there, her sleeve comes up, and they see her tattoos, and I'm like, oh, here we go. So the mom gets up from the table, and then Rebecca gets up to help the mom, and then Zia's dad says to him, like, well, can her tattoos be removed? You know what I'm saying? He's like, well, yeah, they can be, but dad, it's really, really expensive. And the dad, like, so you need to ask her about that, because as Muslims, you know what I'm saying, we really can't accept tattoos, so I just hope she can get them removed. What I can appreciate is that he waited for who was Elizabeth? That he waited for Rebecca to leave the table to talk to his son and say that, because some parents would have just said it in front of the face or whatever. And even though she would not have been able to understand him, it was still something that he would have said that Ziad maybe would have, translated. So, the dad says how, she would look more beautiful if she didn't have tattoos, because no tattoos is more ladylike. Dad, I need you to hush up, okay? I get, this is the thing. You have to respect other people's cultures. And I respect the fact that in their culture, that's what they think. But I don't think that she'll be any more or less beautiful with or without her tattoos. Because if she puts a long sleeve shirt on, you can't see him. Okay? Just saying. Anyway, so, he brings up how, he just hopes he does not lose his parents over the woman he wants to marry. Because, again, he wants his parents to accept her for how she has tattoos and all. But it's weird because it's like, yeah, you knew they wouldn't like her and you still dated her. So you set yourself up for this okie doke, okay? But I digress. Anyway, we then see that, they're spending time at his parents' house, so they stayed there. So she slept in Ziad's room, and then Ziad had to sleep in the room with his mom, or I guess his mom and his dad or whatever, because again, they can't sleep in the same room. And so she's like, I felt like a teenager, stooping around, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm being sneaky. I just wonder if he is really who he says he is. So she's like looking up on the dresser, looking in the cabinets in his room, looking in those closets or whatever. I'm like, but you have a whole husband that you're still married to in the U.S. and you told him and sent them pictures of you looking 20 years younger. You are the one who are not who you say you are, technically, okay? Because again, you were older than you said you were. Not that you're any less pretty. Not that she's any less pretty, but she does look older than her photos, okay? She has a whole husband. He does not know that she's still legally married, okay? And it's like, and you sent them fake photos. You are the catfish. But anyway, it wasn't nothing much in the rooms or whatever, but she do go, and she says she brings up how small the house is. I know how she did not realize, how meager, and humble beginnings of a life that he has. It's a really, 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 really small house. Each room is like just small. The kitchen is small. Like it's like each room, barely two people can fit into each room. You know what I'm saying? And so when she was in the bathroom, she brings up the bathroom doesn't even have a shower. She said, but I think they just, pour buckets of water over their heads as they shower. It's like, but in the bathroom, I wonder, I feel like the water would run onto the floor because, it's just such a small house. So she's like, I realized that, this could be a reason anybody would want to get married and then move to the U.S. So what if that's what Ziad is doing? I mean, it is what he's doing, but it is what it is. Who really cares? So we do see Ziad outside talking to his mom. He's helping her with the laundry and the lamp. Well, was he helping her? I think she was doing most of the work. He was just talking to her. Anyway, he's asking his mom, like, what she thought of Rebecca, you know what I'm saying? What are her thoughts? And again, the mom, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really know her. You know what I'm saying? I assume that you would marry somebody younger or be with someone younger from our country. And because I don't know Rebecca, I'm just nervous about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? He brings up how, like, I want to propose to her. And the mama was looking like, what? What? And he's like, I want to propose to her. Once we get married, I can then move to the U.S. He brings up how other people have done the same thing and migrated to the States. And I'm like, he wants to get married to go to the U.S. It doesn't mean he cares for her any less, but he still knows if I marry her, this is what I can do. And the mom brings up how, like, well, all parents want their children to live a better life than they live this, in their own life. So, as long as he's happy, then, she's happy for him. And she asked, well, are you happy? He says, yes, I'm very happy. What I can appreciate, though, is he said, he wants to continue to spend time with her, to get to know her, because the more he gets to know her, the more he can know if they can spend the rest of their lives together. I mean, honey, I guess so. That was really, really it. But so Jennifer and Tim, so she stayed the night. She stayed the night with him or whatever, but they did not have sex, okay? She stayed the night, they fell asleep. In the same bed, though. They did sleep in the same bed. So, she said that she liked the fact that he respected her, that he didn't, like, try to fill her up or whatever. She's like, but I'm still shocked that he didn't even at least try to kiss me. And I'm like, well, I'm shocked, too. Because kissing is easy, okay? Anyway, so he tells her how I slept so well, and I feel like it was because I was with you, like this, I was so comfortable or whatever. He's like, oh, not he, she, oh, that's really, really cool or whatever. So he also brings up how, I don't want you to think that I'm only here, just for sex or whatever. And she's like, oh, oh, okay. So even though it's like she wants him to want her because she wants the attention, but she also doesn't want him to like her. It's the weirdest situation. I don't really understand it. Anyway, he brings up how even though I don't want you to feel like I'm only here for sex. I also want you to know that I do think I want us to take things like to the next level. Get a little physical or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you are okay with that. And her thing is, I don't want you to ask me, can you kiss me? I want you to just, feel the moment and do things or whatever. And I get what she means, but I think his thing is he don't feel that vibe from her. So he's not trying to be out of this, so let me grab a boob, because she gives off a vibe of, I don't really want you to touch me doing it. I'm like, girl, no, he needs consent. Okay? So she said, let's talk more action. No, he needs consent. And she's basically giving him, some basic level consent, saying, I want you to conquer me. Like, don't talk me to death. Don't keep asking me. Just feel the moment and then just do things. I'm like, well, okay, if you say so. So we do see, they're going to go meet her family because she stays with her grandparents ever since she got divorced. So they get to the house with her grandparents, and it's real quiet, mainly because so these are the grandparents, okay, and it gets quiet mainly because he doesn't speak their language, and the grandparents don't either. So when Jennifer is making the food, they just kind of sitting there like looking at each other. And this is, she sit down and wherever they're eating, the granddad asks, so what are your intentions with my granddaughter? And so the whole time, Jennifer is translating between, her grandparents and Tim. So he brings about, I'm here to get to know her. I'm not perfect. I've had my issues. However, I want to have a good life with her is what he basically says. And the grandma like, oh, okay. And the granddad said, oh, that's a good start of things, to want to get to know somebody and build a life with them. That's cool. The grandma then said, well, because she had all these issues with her ex-husband, she, her and the ex-husband divorced and she suffered a whole bunch from him. Can we trust you to not make her suffer how her ex-husband did? He brings up how, what we have in common is that we both had our heart broken. So, we connect on that level. I'm like, but that don't mean you're not gonna hurt her. Like, I kind of didn't ask the question, but I digress. So for the most part, the grandparents, just looked at him. Just looked at him, and they said how they just want Jennifer to pay attention. They want her to pay attention, ask questions, and if she sees something that she know isn't cool, to walk away. They asked him like if he's ever like been there before, been to Costa Rica, if he's been to Colombia before, and then he says, "Oh, yeah, I've been there before, whatever." Oh, okay, so how many times? He says, "Oh, about 5 times," and she's like, "Oh." So she didn't even know that he had been there that many times. And so she's like, it seems as if he's hiding something. Like it's something he's just not saying, And even if he doesn't tell me something, it's still lying. So it's something he isn't saying. So they asked, well, why were you here that many times or whatever? Oh, I was visiting a friend, just visiting friends or whatever. And he kind of leaves it at that. We then see that he says, you know what I'm saying? I am hiding something from her. The secret is the stupidest secret I think I've ever heard. His secret is he used to date a woman who was from Colombia. He brings up how the ex-girlfriend, how he actually met the girl in America. She did not live in Colombia when they were dating. She had already moved to America, but they would travel back to Colombia to see her friends and family all the time. So this is the ex-girlfriend, okay, who I'm like, well, she's built just like Jennifer, if you ask me. Anyway, but, I'm like, y'all was just posing for pictures. So I'm like, okay, Tim has lived. Okay, I can say that. Okay. So that's his ex-Colombian girlfriend who was from the States, but they kept going back to Colombia. Let's remove all of this. But I'm still like, it's just something. So he brings up how they had plans to get married, they were living together, but things did not work out, and so they broke up, and he has been trying to move on with his life. He then says that since he's been in Colombia recently, the ex sent him a text that just said, "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" You know what I'm saying? And he didn't respond. It was just that one text. So he's like, now I need to be honest with Jennifer. So they go on a little dinner date, okay? But she brings up how she can tell something's wrong, and he's very, very nervous, and she does not know what is going on. So, he does seem stupidly nervous, and I'm gonna say stupidly because it's not that's not a look, anybody who's an ex, that's not a secret. Okay, and so what if you dated somebody who lived in our country? Who cares? Does Americans care if we dated somebody else in America? No, girl. Anyway, and I'm pretty sure he may not be the first American she has known or dated. So miss me with the bullshit of it all. So he like, look, okay, because she like, what's wrong? You seem stressed. Like, talk to me. I want to tell you something, but I think you're gonna get mad. So can you promise me that you won't get mad? Well, I have feelings. I can't promise you how I'm going to react because I'm human. I don't know, like this, but we can work through it. Like we can just talk about it. So he then says, like, well, I want you to know that, I dated the reason I was here before on 5 different occasions is because I had an ex who, was from the same city or town or country or whatever. And, what I'm saying, so that's why I was here. I was here with her visiting people. And she gets upset. What? What? Like, you keep talking to your exes. I don't get this. Because he then say, and this ex, out the blue, sent me a text. Okay? And it was weird or whatever. And she just said, hello. Oh, are you trying to have me as a replacement? I'm the one's replacement. You're trying to replace her with me? I can't be. I'm like, that ain't what he said. All he said was he had a girlfriend who was it's not that big of a deal. It's not. And he made this like Colombian women. Girl, calm down. I cannot believe it. So how long were you together? He's like, we was together for 2 years. I'm saying we lived together, but again, we broke up. I want to see the text. Let me see the text. He like, it only said hola. It just says hi. I don't care. I want to see it. So he gives her the phone or whatever, and she see the text. It says hello. It says hello. It looks like it's some old pictures up in there too, under the little text thing or whatever. And then she's like, Mommy, why is her name Mommy? He like, that's what I used to call her. Like, I just haven't took her name or number out my phone. You should have done that when you met me. Why would you come here and still have her name? Why would you leave it as Mommy? I'm looking like, girl, I still have about 5 exes name. Girl, I need to take them out over real. But I mean, sometimes people will have exes names. She was so pissed, so pissed that she got up, tossed the whole drink in his face, and then walked out. I'm like, and he's in shock. He's in shock because my thing is, she got upset like they are an actual couple, and he cheated. Not like he said, a ex sent me a text that said hello. I have to fix this. I cannot have her be upset with me. Look, she's batshit crazy. While her grandparents telling her to watch out for your signs, you should watch out for hers. Okay? I'm like, that is just team too much. And he just sitting there all wet. Okay? And not in a good way. So as Michael, we see what happened with the fights. Okay, we see that Michael pulled over in a like no parking zone by the airport. Okay, and now well, we do remember that Angela was the one that told him to pull over for a second or whatnot, but he pulled over in a no parking zone. So as he did that, people pulled up and tried to tow his car. Okay, and Michael then got out the car and tried to fight them. He said because mainly people, there are a lot of scammers in Nigeria, so they will try to scam you and make you think that they have to tow your car and you probably pay them money or whatever. And he wasn't letting it happen. So he just, I mean, he was big ball in the bed or whatever. Fussing and tussling and fight with the people. We didn't see any of it. We just heard the commotion or whatever. And then when the camera did zoom, like show the things, it would just be, it was too many people moving around. It was guns. I'm like, I ain't got time to get some kind of pictures in my page could shut down. So I don't want to show that because they had guns in their hands too. But Michael was fighting one of the guys. Angela then got the car and was helping them fight, or at least pushing them, pulling people off. Get off of him! Don't hit him! Don't do that! Don't do that! What is wrong with you? Sit your white ass down somewhere before they shoot you. Don't do that. Okay? So eventually, airport security comes around, makes the people take the spikes off my car. Production was a whole mess. Okay? But we do see Angela and Michael get back in the car. He looks, mad. Okay, he's all, oh, I can't, they can't believe them, scammers, you know what I'm saying? And he brings up how, again, you have to, it's like, oh, they're over here fighting like crazy people, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe it. Like cops and robbers. I'm like, it's Nigeria. Things happen, okay? Anyway, so he again brings up how he doesn't even like being angry and mean and fight. He said in fighting, but if you don't protect yourself, if you don't stand up for yourself, then they will scam you and run over you and do whatever else. He says, so I did what I had to do. I get it. I completely get it. I was gonna go to jail for my man. I was not gonna let them fight my man. I'm out here. I'm like, okay. Kudos to Angela for having his back. Because, I mean, I would have done the exact same thing, okay? But, I'm gonna look at her. So, fine. And she keep yelling at Michael's balls to drop. I'm like, I don't want to keep hearing that shit. Stop saying that. So, they get back to the hotel room. Angela has brought over handcuffs and Trump underwear we didn't put on. And, she didn't brought over body paint. I'm looking like, what is going on here? She, has him put the boxers on. He dancing around. She kind of handcuffs him jokingly to the lamp thing and says, take your pants off. Michael, don't take your pants off, but whatever. And then she has his body paint, which I guess you can lick off. And she, like, puts it on his stomach. And then she licks it off. And then she makes him look at her face. It was the most disgusting thing ever. And the reason I said disgusting is because I feel like they're both sweaty and dirty. And that's, people do what you want to do in your bedroom. I don't care. But I felt like neither one of them was clean enough to be putting their tongues. I'm like, oh, it's just so nasty. And it looked nasty. Oh God. Oh God. I just can't. Anyway, I didn't want to see that. I don't like seeing other people's stuff. So, no. I'm good. That's just anyway. And they both seem to miss each other, and they just want to have sex, and that's what they do because they kick the camera crew out. So again, they haven't seen each other in a year. Cool. So the next morning, they're going to celebrate Michael's birthday finally, and she's still a little bit upset because he went to that bar that night, the day of his actual birthday. So she's a little bit upset about that. But he brings up how they're going on a boat cruise, so just to kind of be happy, whatever, that they're going to enjoy his birthday. And I'm like, cool. So, but she's still bringing up how she was upset about him going out to that bar for his birthday. So they driving, okay? They in the car. Michael in the car trying to eat the chicken, okay? Because before they left the hotel, they got a container of chicken to eat or whatever. And so, she felt like, well, one, he ain't talking to me enough or whatever. So how long was this drive? He jokingly said, oh, it's like 4 hours. She's like, oh, don't, Michael. He said, no, it's an hour away. So the whole hour car ride, it seems as if she was, going off on him about this whole things he's been lying about, the whole birthday bar trip, and all these things. And how did you have money to go to the bar? You sent me $60. I'm like, she really is paying for this man's life. And I'm like, he just trying to drive and eat his fried chicken. That's all he trying to do. And it looked like it was turkey chicken. Okay, not turkeys, Popeyes. It looked like Popeyes chicken to me. Anyway, so they finally get to the boat area, and she pulls up when they pulling up, and she say, have you been here before? He says, well, when I was younger, my uncle would bring us here to go on a boat ride. She then get upset. You're a liar. You are such a liar. He's like, what are you talking about? On your IG, I saw a picture of you on a boat with females. Who are the girls, Michael? And I'm like, what? They then show this picture, okay? As you can see, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. As you can see Michael right there. You see Michael right there. And they circled the one girl who was over there in between the two white men, okay? Now, there's actually not nan female sitting anywhere near Michael. She's literally upset. I'm not going on a boat. We done forever. I'm done with him for good. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And he like, you know what do you get your shit and get out my room? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you tripping or whatever. And I don't care. I'm done with this shit. And she gets herself in the car and then walks away. He like, I'm so tired of this shit. He should be. But at the same time, you put up with it. She has been the same crazy, deranged white woman from Atlanta or from Georgia, okay, from Georgia, that we've always seen. Next up, we have Akini and Benjamin. Now, Akini and Benjamin, I feel like Akini in some way is playing games with Benjamin based on the different cultures, based on the different rules, not regulations, but the different things that she has to do within her culture to be married to whoever else. But I'm like, it is what it is. So, Benjamin, of course, is still surprised that he had to stay with Akini's brother, okay? And things for that, he felt like because of that, things aren't going so smoothly, okay? And also because the brother just kind of doesn't like him. And if the brother does not like him, he does not have to be nice to Benjamin and present him to the daddy in the right way. So we do see Kenny come to visit him or whatever, and you're so white. I can't believe how white you are. I'm like, he's always been white though. He didn't just get white. But I'm like, I mean, is white different when you see it in person? It may be. Anyway, so they walk around town or whatever, and later on they're gonna go to her parents' house to meet the parents. So, she brings up how, because he said, I'm nervous to meet your dad. She said, well, you should be. Like, you should be. She brings up how her mom ain't that bad, but the dad is just different. So they walk around the neighborhood, and as they walk around her little town or whatever, everyone is looking at him like, no bullshit. Everyone is looking like, because it's the first white man they've seen like in person. Well, they probably also see the camera crew, but I mean, they still looking like, because they're walking hand in hand throughout the thing, whatever. She's like, oh, we probably should like walk at night from now on because they've never seen a white person. I'm like, So they then sit down and have a conversation about what he should or should not do during dinner. So she's like, you can't touch me, you can't hold my hand, you can't wink at me, you have to eat the food that we give you because, if you don't, it's a sign of disrespect. She said that, when people have special occasions and dinners, they buy special food, and if you don't eat the food they've made for you, it's disrespectful because it's as if they wasted their money. And I'm like, that makes sense considering they may not have that much money. And she also tells him that he has to sit next to her brother. Like, that's your place to sit. Like, you can't sit anywhere else besides sitting next to my brother. I'm like, okay. So he says, well, what happens if, like, if your dad, doesn't give us the blessing and doesn't, you know, want us to be together? She says, well, you would have to go home a single man because, we couldn't get married. And she looks sad, but I feel like she know her dad not going to approve of it, and she just kind of knows it, and I guess now just going through the motions or whatever. I'm not sure. So we do see that he gets to the parents' house, and he's so nervous when he walks in that he forgets to even introduce himself to her mom. Now, her mom, Akini, looks like, okay? She has the looks of her mom. The smile, I'm like, it's the same. But I digress. Anyway, he brings up how he was just too nervous because I was focused on, getting a seat next to the brother. I just kept thinking about the seat next to the brother. So, the dad ain't there yet. And because the dad ain't there yet, the mama then calls him on the phone, and we can't hear the dad weird his voice like echoing or whatever. And she said, what are you? Except in the voice. He said he's somewhere else or whatever. He'll be there, So the mama then say, well, once we finish eating, he should be back here by then. So I'm like, cool. I'm like, what the hell? But my refrigerator just came on. So they pull out the food or whatever, and it was like a fish. You know how I watched Naked and Afraid, and when they cook fish over like an open flame, that's how it looked. Okay, and it was like the whole fish or whatever. And I'm like, oh. So the brother's like, this is how we eat it. Okay, we take the head off. Okay, and we eat the head. Okay, we love the brains. Okay, see, eat it. Mmm, isn't it soft? I was like, okay, and he was like, yeah, mm, yeah, yeah, it's good. Because again, she told him whatever they give you, you have to eat it. Like at least eat the most of it or whatever. And then she said, "This your first?" The brother then asked, "Is this your first time eating, fish like this or whatever?" He's like, "Yeah," but at least he ate it. So the father never showed up or whatever. And so he like, so is Baba Akini coming? And they're like, no, I don't think he's gonna come. And so they've been sitting there for like an hour. This whole time he just never showed up. So the brother was talking or whatever, they're saying bye to the mom. Akini then gets up and she walks out. And they're like, Akini, what's going on? So then he follows Akini out. And he like, so what's wrong? It's like, I'm just sad. My brother said something or whatever, and what I'm saying, it made me upset. But she won't tell Benjamin what the brother said, but she says she's upset by something his brother said. And then he's like, I can walk you back to the house. She's like, no. He's like, so you just want me to go? And she's like, well, yeah. And so he's like, I can't believe I'm in trouble for something, or she's upset about something, and she won't tell me what it is. Like, I'm just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place or whatever. And then, he kind of walks his way and she walks hers. I'm like, he said, I've come so far to see her. I just can't believe that, what I'm saying, it's not going good or whatever. But, what I'm saying, I just don't know why she won't talk to me. Again, I feel like she knows something ain't gonna happen and she just trying to avoid it happening or whatever. Lastly, Darcy and Tom. So, at first, Dorothy brings up how she is unhappy that they hadn't had sex yet. But then we find out the last night they had sex. And, they woke up the next morning and he had a twisted ankle. Now, that's some hard sex if you twist your whole ankle, but I digress. And it was like bruised and everything. But maybe she karate chopped him on his ankle. I don't know. So, she brings up how she's happy they finally had sex, and he says how he's happy they waited, but he's also happy it happened. He wants to see where it can go from here. These two is not gonna be together. Let me just say that now. So they walk around town in some kind of way. He already has a cane, but maybe he just went and bought one. I don't know if he just went and bought one. So they're walking the streets or whatever, and they walk past the jewelry store, and she's like, "Oh, oh yeah, I like this, I like that. I love white diamonds." I'm saying, I don't really care what the size, as long as it's a good clarity and it's a good quality. I love that. He's like, well, you do know I'm not gonna like propose right now. Like I'm not gonna get down on one knee or whatever. Oh, I get out this, just want to talk or whatever. And he like, she talks about marriage so much, you know, and I don't want to rush it. I do want to get married eventually. She could be someone I marry, but I just don't want to rush it. How she's acting as if like we have to get engaged and married right now. She just seems desperate. Like every conversation is about marriage or ring or we're gonna walk down the aisle. Oh, you're on your knee. You're on bended knee. I like you. I like you on your knees. Anyway, I'm not gonna just seem too much. And she said, well, maybe I can change his mind because, even though he's saying that he does not want to, propose, whatever, I maybe can change his mind. No, you can't. You can't. And if you do, it won't be worth it. Let's go say that. So we do see how they're going out to meet his friends. And Darcy was literally peeling herself into a pair of like latex pants. And I'm like, she's gonna get stuck in them pants. Like, there's no way on God's green earth she's gonna have to cut herself out them pants. It was the think of latex condoms. Just all black. Like a black latex condom is what she had on. And she was peeling herself into piece by piece. And then he had to come help her get like zipped up. She looked like a bag of stuffed potatoes. Like she was so stuffed. It looked so uncomfortable. Okay? But whatever. So they're going to meet his friends. One of his friends he dated. Okay? And we see they meet this person. Okay? This is his ex. No. That's his ex. Okay? Yes. This is what we had to look at today. First of all, her face scares me. Okay, her face completely scares her. It's like Cruella DeVille in real life. If Cruella DeVille, the cartoon character, was a real person, it would be this. Okay, and her girl, he has a surgical type. Okay, he definitely has a surgical type. So they having a nice time, whatever. Even though Darcy was not at first too happy to find out they were going to be hanging out with someone he used to date, but she's like whatever. So they hanging out or whatever. He says how this is their old friends. They're still friends now, whatever. She knows him. It was her and somebody another person, another friend, another female friend. But he brings up how they know him, how he like to party, said that you want to be my friends, like these are my friends. Anyway, this one, girl, this one then says, well, are y'all a couple? Are you together? Tom being, we're. She's like, I asked Darcy. So Darcy brings up, in my heart, yes, you know what I'm saying? In my heart, I feel like we're exclusive, whatever. That's what I feel. But the fact that she didn't say, we've had the conversation that we're seeing where this goes, but we are dating each other. Just say that part. Like, don't make it as if y'all are a couple. Girl, it's not that. So they talking or whatnot. It was fine. I don't really care. This is the kicker part. The friend then says when Darcy and the other girl goes to the bathroom, she's like, I don't think they're gonna make it. I really don't. I'm saying Tom, does not really want relationships. Tom is kind of a player or whatever, and he is just not a man. He's not able to commit just yet, and it's based on how things go. It's not that. Tom brings up he may not be able to commit and because he's been hurt in his past, how he was engaged 2 times before and it didn't end well or whatever. And I'm like, okay, if you say so. So, girl, the girl say Darcy's really nice or whatever, but I just don't see y'all working out. Can you literally look me in my eye and tell me that you love her? You can't, can you? He's like, no, I can't. Okay. And she like, it's not even Darcy. It's Tom. Tom isn't the relationship person. And I'm like, I just can't. Tom says, I'm saying? Maybe I can change. No, you can't. And for that reason, I don't think they will be a good couple for long. But Darcy will let him torture her for as long as time permits. Anyway, I'm done, y'all. It is late, okay? I did not mean for this to be so long. So if you watch this whole time, put in printer paper, Swiffer, and cocktails.